We're all about facts, not fear, and always giving you information to keep you and your loved ones safe. Dr. Payal Kohli. Oh, yes. You know what this is? This is a lip stain berry. Am I right? Like a cute little lip stain in the summer you wear outside?
Oh, I love it. I was going to say fuchsia berry, but I also wanted to say that you're the cherry on my sundae because you're wearing cherry today.
First of all, I think that's the best thing I've ever heard, and I don't have a second of all. It was just that. Dr. Payal Kohli joins us live again. We are so lucky to have her here every day. The pandemic news is always changing, and we at DBL, we like to hear it from an actual expert. So before we get to the viewer questions, though, I wanted to get Dr. Payal Kohli's thoughts on the topic we had at the very top of the show, because a lot of you voted. Georgia's governor announced places like fitness centers, bowling alleys, hair salons, they can open in his state as early as this Friday. That would be followed by theaters and dine-in restaurants next week. Other states are announcing similar plans, but some say this is all too soon. So in your opinion, which types of businesses are safe to open sooner rather than later, and which should take longer?
Tori, you have to ask yourself two questions before opening a business during a pandemic. The first question is, how essential is the business? And the second question is, how much contact is involved? Now, in the last few weeks, we saw, despite the stay-at-home orders, the essential businesses, grocery stores, post office, those types of businesses had to stay open, pharmacies. But now we're really at a decision point. We have to really make smart decisions, and opening non-essential businesses like bowling alleys, massage parlors, tattoo parlors, hair salons, those are not essential for life. They're recreational, and they have a high degree of human contact, so the likelihood of them spreading the virus is very, very high. So I would say we really need to prioritize essential and non-contact based businesses before we start opening non-essential contact based businesses.
Hey, you heard it from the doc. Let's get to the viewers' questions. First up is Karen. If schools are closed, why aren't all daycare centers? I have a grandson in one, and I'm worried.
It's a great question, Karen, and actually daycare centers carry relatively the same risk of spreading the virus that schools do, but they're considered one of those essential businesses because a lot of people need daycare for their children. Having said that, if your grandson doesn't need to go to daycare, it's probably safer to keep him at home. And remember, the risk from going to daycare is not as much to your grandson because kids are considered low risk for catching the infection and low risk for having serious complications. But the risk is really to the adults that the kids interact with, whether it's the daycare staff or whether it's their parents and their grandparents, and also those drop-off and pick-up times can increase interaction. So kids are mainly thought to bring the risk to the adults rather than be at risk themselves, but daycares can be a source of risk for sure.
That's good to know. Now, before we go, it's of course time to get to Dr. Kohli's L'chaim, her silver lining. What do you have for us today?
So I have some really exciting news, which means that our life could maybe get back to normal as early as September. Wow. So researchers out of University of Oxford in London have actually been working on a vaccine. And this is a very smart vaccine. It's called a recombinant vaccine. So it's a new way to deliver a vaccine. And what they've already started clinical trials, and they're saying by September they could have a vaccine that could combat this disease effectively, and we could get back to getting our hair and nails done again.
Wow, that's actually great news. I hope that stabilizes people's morale. Thank you, Doc. Of course, you'll return tomorrow. She'll cover basic hygiene and grooming practices to keep you and your family safe, from brushing your teeth to household chores. No panic, just prevention and precautions.